Hey guys, welcome into the video. So in this video, I'm going to be going over my top penny stocks for the week and also the regular stocks I like for the upcoming week. And towards the end of the video, I'm going to be answering your guys' questions from Twitter. And if you're interested in following me on Twitter, my Twitter is at @thestockwatch2. So check me out on Twitter if you haven't already. So before I get started in this video and tell you guys my picks for this week, I want to have a talk with you guys. So I may have to stop doing penny stock videos. So what's the reason for this? My following has grown so much that now when I talk about a penny stock, the penny stocks will get artificially inflated because so many more people know about this penny stock because I'm including in my YouTube video. Let's say my YouTube video gets 20,000 views. That's 20,000 people who are thinking of buying this stock, and let's say 1,000 people act upon it and actually do end up buying this penny stock. Penny stocks will move with such little volume that this will probably move the stock, 10%, 20%. So the people who are already holding this penny stock, let's say they've been holding it for a year, they see this 10% jump and they take that time to sell and take profits. So then it creates an artificial pump and dump when we buy. The people who are holding still, they sell. So it just goes way up and then way down. And the people who bought at the top because of FOMO, they get screwed over because they buy at the top and then it goes down. So how can we stop this from happening? I'm going to stop talking about a lot of OTC stocks. In this video, I do have a few OTC stocks that I have done a lot of research on. So I will be including in this video, but in the future, I will probably lay off the OTC stocks just because I do not want to create that artificial pumping and then dumping from the people who already have that stock. There's a lot of beginner investors who will just buy because of the FOMO, and I do understand I was a beginner at one point, and I do remember getting that FOMO, buying too late, and then you just get screwed whenever it goes down a lot. So we do got to be careful. And one thing that I always preach to you guys, take profits on every pop if it's a penny stock. After every pop, there's usually a pullback, especially if it's an OTC stock or a very low cap, low float stock. So always take profits when we see that pop with a penny stock, and then you can buy on the next dip. I promise you, with about 90% of these penny stocks, every pop that we see, there's going to be a dip afterwards. So always be aware of that and just take your profits. We're trying to hit singles, we're not trying to hit home runs. So let's say a stock goes up 20%. You can take profits right there, wait to see if you can get a better entry. If you can't get a better entry and it keeps on going up, let's say it ends the day up 100%. Did you miss out a little bit? Yeah, you did miss out, but you took your 20% profit and you could move on to the next opportunity. The next opportunity, let's say you take another 10% profit because you just understand that you need to take profits quickly with penny stocks. Then you hit another single, another 10%, your portfolio just grows and grows. We're not trying to hit home runs with penny stocks when we're trading penny stocks. We are trying to hit singles and grow our account slowly. We're not trying to double our account overnight. That is very, very risky, especially doing this with penny stocks. So just be very careful with penny stocks. Take your gains quickly and cut your losses quickly. You always got to understand that. And like I was saying, let me know your thoughts below, but I will probably be laying off the OTC stocks and very low cap stocks in the future. Now we do have some penny stocks that we like to hold long term. Some OTC stocks that I'm holding long term right now is KNOS, as you guys know, and Optec, ticker symbol OPTI. I do like these stocks long term. So for these, I'm trying to avoid looking at all the volatility and just looking at the long term and holding for the long term. You do got to be careful. It's very hard. I have made mistakes where I just sell, take quick profits, and then I just mess out on my original thesis. So there's a time and a place to have your thesis long term, short term, mid term. But 90% of penny stocks, you should take your profits when the stocks pop, and you should cut your losses when your thesis changed. I just want to get this out there, and I do want to let you guys know that penny stocks involving OTC stocks and low cap stocks may not be on this channel in the future. We just got to be very careful. I do not want to hurt any beginner investors and make them scared to invest in the future. I would never want that to happen. And when I was a smaller YouTuber, I could talk about those OTC stocks and not artificially inflate them. But now, being responsible, I have to realize that I have about 40,000 subscribers right now. That is going to artificially inflate penny stocks whether I like it or not. So in the future, I'm not going to be advertising hard what OTC stocks I'm investing in just because I do not want to artificially inflate any of these penny stocks. I don't want to have anybody hurt. That just helps nobody when it artificially pumps and dumps. I do not want to create that from my channel. So I'm going to be avoiding the low cap stocks like I've been saying. And as you guys know, I have been trading penny stocks for a very long time. Penny stocks are one of my favorite stocks to trade. On Twitter, I will keep talking about my penny stock picks just because I really do enjoy penny stocks and the community of providing due diligence, research. It's just a great community with penny stocks over on Twitter. So if you want to see my penny stock picks, you can check out my Twitter. But because this YouTube channel has grown so much, I just do not want to hurt any investors, any traders. So for that reason, I will be keeping it minimal, talking about OTC and low cap stocks. So just make sure you're trading smart and everything like that. Alright, so let's get into the video, my top 3 penny stocks for this week. So I'm going to be going through these 3 penny stocks pretty quickly so I can have time for the Q&A and not make this video too long. So let's get into the first stock. The first penny stock I'm going to be talking about in this video is Alternate Systems, ticker symbol ALYI. I'm sure a lot of you guys remember that I've talked about this stock a lot in the past, but I really do like this stock right now. There's so many catalysts coming up for this company. So let's take a look at some things that are going on with this stock. First of all, we see this article saying Alternate Systems is entering a $47 billion electric truck market and gaining more momentum. It says on July 27th, they confirmed plans for producing and selling electric delivery trucks in Africa made of hemp and powered by hemp batteries. So they're trying to get into this market with Africa that has not been hit yet with the EVs, and they're just getting into this huge niche in a small area that they're focusing on, which is Africa. And I think they have a lot of upside. And as we've seen with JMIA Technologies, ticker symbol JMIA, we've seen them as the Amazon of Africa. They've been performing very well, especially the stock price. The stock price has tripled like in the past month or two. So it's performing very, very well. And Africa is not a useless market whatsoever. Africa is a lot more developed and a lot more impressive than people think. And there's just a ton of upside going into this market and being the one big player in this market. We can see ALYI's electric truck initiative is now over a year in the works. And the market for EV trucks is forecasted to reach $47 billion in the next 10 years. So if they can just get a little tiny piece of this market, it's going to absolutely launch their tiny little company in 20x if they can just get a tiny piece of this market. So we can see that sub-Saharan Africa's opportunities are vast and has a 1.2 billion person market. The continent is creating an entirely new development path, harnessing the potential of its resources and people. Also recently, we saw Bloomberg release this documentary type thing, and it says how green power is driving opportunity in rural Africa. This was released on August 4th, and this was huge for ALYI. It's pretty much talking about the electric vehicles in Africa, all good things for this. And just, I don't think the market has realized the opportunity that ALYI is targeting. And while they are a tiny little company, it doesn't take much to 10x, 20x, 30x their revenue. So we can take a look at some of the products that are out now. They have these EV bikes. So as you can see, they are actually supported by celebrities. So we can see Conan has one. Steven Tyler already has one. They're chilling with their dogs. Johnny Depp already has one. You can take him off your list. They're also working on these Revolt electric motorbikes. It does look very cool. Parts of their business also include energy storage and military applications, which the management team is familiar with many of the vendors because this management team came from the military and they do have a lot of connections with them. So there's also a slide to blockchain and crypto from this business. So it says ALYI Revolt electric motorcycle project is charged by Power Hive initiative featured in Bloomberg. So we can see in this article it says they're in agreement to receive a $25 million investment from Revolt Token. The investment is part of Revolt Token planned initial cryptocurrency offering intended to raise $100 million for an overall investment into ALYI's $300 million electric mobility initiative in Africa. So this is very interesting. Revolt motorbikes are what alternate systems motorbikes are called, and also Revolt is the name of cryptocurrency. Now these two could link up and do something big. Now it is very speculative, but it just is very interesting that they do have the same name. Who knows what could come from that? But all I know is this has high upside, being a tiny little penny stock. Just the smallest news. They're coming out with a lot of press releases. This stock can go crazy. This does have the potential for a 10x, just going to 9 cents. Think about if it went to $1. How crazy would that be? A 100x? Now we do got to look at the risks. Could this company be a scam? Of course, it's an OTC stock. Do we know enough about this company? There's not enough info out there to know everything about this company. Believe me, I've looked everywhere. You can never find 100% of things out about these OTC stocks, which makes them so risky. But what I have seen is they are trying to target this African market. They're actually working with Uber over there, if you check that out. And they do have some very interesting things going for them. The management team loves to release PRs, which can make the stock move. So my strategy with this stock, I do like holding this one long term, even though it is a very small speculative position in my portfolio. But let's say you have $100 in this stock, and in the future, it has a 100x. How much did you just make? You made $10,000 because you held on tight. Now, that is very low probability, having a 100x. You just never know with these penny stocks. I would not be surprised if this stock dropped 50%. I would not be surprised if this stock dropped 50% in the future either. So there's a 50% downside potential, but there's a ton of upside. Now, we can never know a lot about these companies, like I've been saying, but we do know that there's upside, and we do know that the company likes to release press releases. They do come out with a lot of news. There is a lot of news out recently about their motorbikes in Africa and just how they're trying to work on those trucks and everything like that. So everything combined, this creates a lot of high potential if investors can get behind this, if people get excited about this, and if they release the news that are going to be game-changing information. So keep an eye on this one. It is very small, very speculative, so be aware of that. It is very risky. So cut losses quickly if any news comes out that changes our thesis, and also take profits quickly if there's a quick pop. You never know what can happen with these tiny little penny stocks, so be ready for anything. So next up, the next stock I'm going to be talking about is Clickstream Corporation, ticker symbol CLIS. So this stock is very interesting. So let's talk about what this company is doing. This company is coming out with this app in the next couple months that is pretty much a live quiz game show that you can win real money from. As you can see in the screenshot, you can win $3,000 from this one day. So before we get into all the upside and all the news that has come out on this stock, let's talk about how this company makes money. If they're coming out with this app, it takes a lot to develop the app. It takes a lot to hire their management. It takes a lot to hire their game hosts. So how is this company going to make money? This company is going to make money from advertisers and sponsors. Now in this current environment, I believe this is the way that you can make the most money. Just look at YouTube. YouTube makes a ton of money. It's absolutely crazy off their advertisers and their sponsors. YouTube has billions of revenue, all because of their advertisers. Now if the app can get very popular, use these advertisers. If you just get a couple million in revenue from these advertisers, if the app gets to the top of the charts because people are excited to be winning real money, that is absolutely massive for a company like this. Also, I remember a couple years ago, an app like this came out. It was a live game show and you could win money by answering these questions if you stayed in. I remember this app was like #1 on the top charts in the Apple App Store. Now, I'm not saying that this stock will, but there's a potential that it may just launch, get so much hype behind it. Now, if this happens, we get you 10x from these current prices. It is a very, very cheap stock. It is very, very risky, but the upside is there. People love themselves some free money. People love themselves some free money that you don't have to do anything for. Now just think about if you're bored at home, you see this game show that's coming out. The game show, you just sit at home, answer some questions, and have the potential to win $3,000. Now that's crazy. I think everybody's going to do this that knows about it. So if they can get their marketing team out there, this stock could absolutely launch up, especially if this gets to the top of the charts of the App Store. That will be absolutely huge. So it has live shows that will air several times a week in prime time, and users can play non-live games daily to compete against each other users. The game shows will range from categories in sports, history, geography, science, and etc. Users can also play 4 non-live game shows daily for cash and prizes. So let's take a look at the game show hosts. First of all, we got Brian Baldinger, currently in his 15th year in NFL Network as an analyst, which is absolutely huge. This guy is a worldwide figure. Everybody knows who he is. If you're a sports fan especially, I've known who this guy is for a while. Next up, we got Robert Joshua Dobbs, Josh Dobbs if you know him, and he's currently a quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Just having an NFL player in there, I bet you he can get some people to come over. It is very exciting. Next up, we got Howie Schwab, the Sultan of Sports Trivia, is best known as the sports trivia expert and final advisory on ESPN's Stump and Schwab show, so he's a public figure as well. Next up, we got Amber Theoris. She's a co-host for NFL Network as well. Very, very interesting. And I'm very excited for this stock in the short term because they have the beta test this Thursday, which is August 13th. So this could bring up a ton of hype around the business if this goes well. I actually signed up for this beta, and if they accept me, I will be participating. And if I get accepted, I will let you guys know my full thoughts on this business, if I think it has the upside to go to the top charts of the App Store, or if it's just very boring and not worth it, not going to do anything. So I'll be sure to let you guys know. And yeah, this is the type of company that could go bankrupt in a year or could 10x. So yeah, you got to look at your risk reward, you got to look at your risk tolerance, decide for yourself. But personally, I do have a small speculative position, and I'll just be writing this out, seeing where it goes. I am very excited to see where this company goes and how this app actually performs, especially on the beta date, because it is this week. And we could see a short-term pop from the beta date if it goes well. And if we do see that, I will be taking profits on the first pop that we see. So the next stock I'm going to be talking about, I had to put this one in there. I have talked about this a lot before, actually recently this past week, but I got to reiterate my confidence in this stock. This stock is Optec International, ticker symbol OPTI. So I'm not going to be explaining the business model. I'm not going to be looking into the website again because I didn't do that on the past video. They have updated their website, but not a ton has changed. But one thing I want to look at is some articles that have came out recently about UV light. There's some very interesting things. So the first article that came out recently that we're going to be looking at, the title is UV light technology gets business boom as virus killer. So in this article, they say they use UV light to kill microorganisms and viruses on surfaces, and everybody in the market is wanting these machines. Demand has skyrocketed, and the president of one of these businesses is saying that the business is up 400, 500, 600%. Restaurants use this, doctors, hospitals, airports, prisons, and when the virus is exposed to UV light, it actually scrambles its DNA. It's effectively killed. So who doesn't like to hear that? That sounds very, very pleasing. And hey, if this can actually work against the virus, this helps all of us. Let's get rid of this virus crap and move on with our life. This next article is titled Trump Was Right. Cedars-Sinai study concludes UV light for virus treatment is viable. Now in this article it says, now it would appear that Trump and Mark Dice were onto something when they made these comments. Just so happens, the result of this trial was promising. So something very interesting as well, this is another stock I'm going to bring into this, and this was patented by A2 Bioscience, a small specialty pharmaceutical company in partnership with Cedar-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles. The product, which is being referred to as HealLite platform technology, is a small catheter that can be inserted down the throat of an incubated critically ill patient. When turned on, the HealLite will presumably begin killing the virus that has been infected the lungs. While the device itself is not yet FDA approved, A2 Bioscience has indicated that it is seeking accelerated approval. So for A2 Bioscience, this may be a potential investment that we should look at. Now, I have not looked deep into this company, but I have started looking deep today, and I will be looking to make an investment if we can get a dip anytime tomorrow, because the hype for this company could be huge. It could be Optec International Part 2, so I'm keeping a very close eye on both of these stocks. Now, personally, I am still more interested in Optec because of the iWand. I believe that this could be a huge seller. Now people around the world could be interested in having one of these iWands just disinfected everything they want. This could be a retail seller, especially with Kevin Harrington joining the team. We saw Kevin Harrington start the KNOS infomercials. He just posted on their Twitter that he will be starting very soon. Now if he does this for Optec as well, which should be coming in the future, this could skyrocket the stock as well. So there's just a lot of catalysts coming up, especially with the Kevin Harrington, the iWand, especially with Kevin Harrington, the iWand, if they announce their sale numbers, if they announce raising guidance, this stock could take off once again. We could see 20 cents plus by the end of the week. That is the top upside. Now, my prediction by the end of the week would be around 15 cents. I expect a lot of ups and downs, so be ready for that. But once again, this is one of my favorite penny stocks in the market, and I believe that this may have one of the most upsides in the entire market. So those are 3 penny stocks that I'm looking at this week. And next up, I'm going to get to the Q&A that I had on Twitter. So I'm going to be answering the questions that I believe are going to be the most used to you guys. How about SKDI and STHC? It feels like both have a day or two left and then to pump up. Now my thoughts on this, I really do like SKDI, one of my favorite penny stocks, and STHC, this had a huge runner. I actually was in STHC as soon as the big news came out and took profits the day of. Now I took profits on like 20%. This proceeded to run 100%. Personally, I'm not going to be chasing this one, but personally I really do like SKDI and I am holding strong. So next up we got BKYI International price target. And if it's not too late to buy into LCA at $12.45. Now personally, I don't really do price targets on penny stocks, but I see $1 plus in the future for BKYI International, one of my favorite long-term stocks, and I'm holding this one very, very strong. One of my biggest positions in penny stocks because I believe this is one of the strongest companies. There's 0% of it being a scam, and I like this one a lot long-term. For LCA, this is still my biggest position. I still like it at the $12.45 range, and I do think this should reach $20 plus by the end of the year. Next question, any thoughts on Workhorse? Reward to risk looks extremely favorable. Now I agree with this. The risk to reward is definitely in the investor favor. Personally, I like the business model of Hyliion, ticker symbol SHLL more, so that's where I'm putting my EV truck money right there. I would be okay making a smaller position and holding long term with Workhorse. I do think the UPS deal could come soon. I think they have a great chance of getting that one. This next question is, buy One Medical before or after earnings? So my thoughts on this is I'm holding One Medical strong right now. Now if we see a huge run up to earnings, I will sell, I will take profits, and then buy back in after earnings because we know anything can happen at earnings. Personally, I don't like to risk holding through earnings. So next up, a question from Brenda. Do you think JMIA will do good on the 12th? My thoughts on this is it has run up so much lately. It's at a 4x from $5 like 2 months ago. So my thoughts on JMIA earnings. I think great earnings are already priced in. Now this is one of my favorite stocks long term, as you guys know. I've been loving this stock since it was like $4. But is it going to do good on the 12th? I think the best case scenario is already priced in. If they announce anything that hurts the business, I think we see a drop. So in my opinion, what I think you should do is you should play the pre-anticipatory run-up. I'm sure there'll be a lot of hype leading into JMIA earnings on the 12th, and sell before earnings happens. You play the full upside, and then don't allow the risks to get to you. Now, of course, they could beat earnings. Of course, they could launch up after earnings. But personally, I don't think it's worth the risk reward to hold through earnings, as a lot of it is already priced in. This next question, what are your thoughts on FLIR? Why did it drop so hard after beating expectations? Do you think it's going to bounce back to its previous price in the next couple of weeks? So my thoughts on FLIR, I do like this company a lot long term. I do think it has a great chance of bouncing all the way back and more in the long term. But in my opinion, I doubt that it bounces back hard within the next couple of weeks. It should have a slight bounce back, nothing major because it is oversold as of right now. So the reason that it dropped so hard was because the CEO withdrew guidance, which is never good. It does not give any confidence to investors, and a lot of investors start freaking out. The next question, when do you think SHLL will pop? Whenever there's an announcement of when the merger date will be, or when the merger actually happens, these are the two pops that will happen with SHLL. The next question, thoughts on LKCO. Now my thoughts on LKCO, that had that offering that was supposed to raise the price. Now it did not happen. I ended up cutting losses in my position because things were just not looking good for this company. There was a lot of bad news coming out about how there may be a fraud and everything like that. Now they do have to get to $1 in the next couple months to stay on NASDAQ. Now I think this allows for a great chance of having a reverse split. So in this case scenario, a reverse split would make this stock drop a lot in the short term. So in my opinion, I would cut losses if I was still holding at LKCO, but it's up to you and all depends on your thesis on this stock. If you like this stock long term, then go for it, keep holding. Personally, for me, it was a quick swing, and I had to cut losses because my thesis changed whenever the offering did not make this price rise, which I was expecting while holding this stock. So the next question, what do you think of FRSX? So I'm very, very bullish on FRSX's earnings. I think the WKYI news could come out very, very soon, like I was talking about in one of those videos. I went through the full research on this one. I think it should be a $2 plus stock. I will be looking to get into this one next week and hold until earnings. Probably hold through earnings unless we see a hard run up, which I will take profits if we do see a big run up towards earnings. So I've been researching this stock a lot lately. They are looking for more employees. One is an algorithm developer. This can only mean good things. If they're looking to expand their team, looking for new jobs, that means they're expanding as a business, and that does make me even more bullish for earnings. So the next question I'm going to be looking at is this guy said, I noticed you stopped following the AITX CEO. Are you still bullish on this company? Now, I don't remember ever following this CEO. I don't think I was ever following him. But anyways, I am still very bullish on AITX. I do think big things are coming, and I do see a ton of upside. I am holding this one strong. Even though I am down in this position, I do see a ton of upside, and I'm holding strong until we see a pop. So I did want to talk about one more thing. You guys know that I love KNOS, and I love Tommy Environmental, ticker symbol TOMZ, and the follower tagged me in this post of the Denver Broncos, and this really, really, really does look like Tommy Environmental's product, and that they're working with this NFL team. So if the news does come out, if PR comes out, this would be absolutely huge for Tommy Environmental. Let me know your thoughts down below of what you think about the OTC and penny stocks on my channel, if I should stop doing them, if I should keep doing them, if I should just move it straight to Twitter, let me know. And also if you're interested in joining the private stock group, the link is down below. Send portfolio updates every single day. I answer any questions you have. Every time I buy or sell a stock, I do send a message alerting you what I bought and sold. So that should be the first link in the description. Also, if you want to get 2 free stocks on Webull, 5 free dollars on Acorn Investing, those links are down below as well. Thanks so much for the support. Thanks for watching the video. Let's have a huge week this week, guys. Let's make a lot of money, and let's get rich.